The only way to have a life is to commit to it like crazy. Believe in yourself. Stay in your own lane. There's only one you. Experience is not what happens to you, it is what you do with what happens to you. People often say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I say that the most liberating thing about beauty is realizing you are the beholder. Each day comes bearing its gifts. Untie the ribbon. Living is the art of getting used to what we didn't expect. A person without regrets is a nincompoop. Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile. Kindness is one thing you can't give away. It always comes back. Great opportunities to help others seldom come, but small ones surround us every day. Try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. The greatest mistake you can make is to be continually fearing that you'll make one. Real courage is when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. There is only one certainty in life, and that is that nothing is certain. The most sincere compliment we can pay is attention. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. The most important trip you may take in life is meeting people halfway. Happiness makes up in height for what it lacks in length. You can't turn back the clock, but you can wind it up again. Never fear shadows. They simply mean there's a light shining nearby. Time you enjoy wasting was not wasted. What's wrong with being sentimental? Sentimental means you like stuff. Having a young child explain something exciting he has seen is the finest example of communication you will ever hear or see. Worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow, it only saps today of its strength. Every exit is an entry somewhere else. Memories are everyone's second chance at happiness. If your ship doesn't come in, swim out to it. My father gave me the best advice of my life. He said, "Whatever you do, don't wake up at 65 years old and think about what you should have done with your life." Success is falling 9 times and getting up 10. Pay no attention to what the critics say. A statue has never been erected in honor of a critic. The world is extremely interesting to a joyful soul. I would rather live in a world where my life is surrounded by mystery than live in a world so small that my mind could comprehend it. Don't say you can't until you prove you can't. You are genuinely happy if you don't know why. It's a whole lot more satisfying to reach for the stars, even if you end up landing only on the moon. I still close my eyes and go home. I can always draw from that. Quiet minds cannot be perplexed or frightened, but go on in fortune or misfortune at their own private pace, like a clock during a thunderstorm. Even the worst haircut eventually grows out. No day in which you learn something is a complete loss. To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. The older you get, the more you realize that kindness is synonymous with happiness. Be open to learning new lessons, even if they contradict the lessons you learned yesterday. The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. Worry is like sand in an oyster. A little produces a pearl, too much kills the animal. Morale is when your hands and feet keep on working when your head says it can't be done. If you would know strength and patience, welcome the company of trees. What I do today is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. Words of comfort, skillfully administered, are the oldest therapy known to man. The sky isn't the limit. The sky has no limit. Speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. All glory comes from daring to begin. If you don't place your foot on the rope, you'll never cross the chasm. It is our choices that show what we really are, far more than our abilities. Don't waste a minute not being happy. If one window closes, run to the next window, or break down a door. The aging process has you firmly in its grasp if you never get the urge to throw a snowball. He who laughs most learns best. Keep your love of nature, for that is the true way to understand art more and more. Joy is one of the only emotions you can't contrive. To feel that one has a place in life solves half the problem of contentment. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. I don't want to get to the end of my life and find that I have just lived the length of it. I want to have lived the width of it as well. A life of unremitting caution without the carefree, or even, occasionally, the careless, may turn out to be half a life. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We are not at our best perched at the summit. We are climbers at our best when the way is steep. The best thing about the future is that it comes only one day at a time. Success is often the result of taking a misstep in the right direction. The only failure is not knowing how to be happy. There's power in looking silly and not caring that you do. Be yourself. No one can ever tell you that you're doing it wrong. Without darkness, there are no dreams. Procrastination means you know what you need to do, and you don't do it. If you don't know what to do, you aren't procrastinating. You are thinking. I've learned that people will forget what you've said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Just because you're nervous doesn't mean you have to look nervous. Nobody can look inside you. Project what you want to project. Everyone is an explorer. How could you possibly live your life looking at a door and not opening it? If you can't reach your destination by one road, try another. The secret of the man who is universally interesting is that he is universally interested. Friends are the family we choose. Be like the sun and the meadow, which are not in the least concerned about the coming winter. Never ignore a gut feeling, but never believe that it's enough. Vitality shows not only in the ability to persist, but in the ability to start over. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. A dead end is just a good place to turn around. My dad used to say, you wouldn't worry so much about what people thought of you if you knew how seldom they did. Success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom. Even a small star shines in the darkness. Failure is God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. If your world doesn't allow you to dream, move to one where you can. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Age is not the enemy. Stagnation is the enemy. Complacency is the enemy. Stasis is the enemy.